My guest on the Culture Crawl today is Quinn Pettifer, and Quinn actually works for the Gazette companies.
Yes.
And what's your title there?
Oh, it's a long one.
Okay.
Manager of Community Networks and Engagement.
Nice. That's
It's a fancy title.
you have to you have to continue that on the next business card.
I do. I have a little arrow. Flip over for the rest of it, but that's all
But
right.
she is here in her role as a board member of the Iowa Cultural Corridor Alliance, and I would just kind of call you a community promoter. I mean, that's really what you
I
do.
try. I think that's a summary of my long title. It's just get out there and let people know what's going on and why it's awesome.
You're
So,
at everything.
I try to be.
And
yes.
you talk about even the stuff you can't get to, you talk about
Absolutely.
and promote with your friends and social media and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Well, you and I have had this conversation. If somebody says there's nothing to do here,
Oh.
they should call you.
That's
Or
right.
they should call me, or just there's plenty to do.
Yeah,
Plenty of things to
you,
enjoy.
you can't get to everything that is worth doing.
Exactly.
And as we prove, I think, a couple, 3 times a week, right here on the Culture Crawl.
Definitely.
And so you're here, like I said, in your role as a board member of ICA to kind of hit we have on the Culture Crawl, I have, people who come from specific organizations to talk about their specific things. But what ICA does is it's kind of the umbrella organization
It is.
that promotes all of the cultural organizations. So you're here to just kind of hit several things from several different organizations.
Absolutely.
And probably concentrating a little bit maybe on things that we haven't talked about a lot
Yeah.
here on the show
Absolutely.
previously. So
Well,
that's a great thing. You kind of come in and bat cleanup.
I do. Well, and we were talking about, ICA has this great e-blast that goes out every week. And man, I was taking a look. I'm like, we have got a ton coming up. I mean, September has just been chock full of events. Same thing with October. I mean, people think that once summer is over, everything kind of dies down and slows down. I
Oh,
would
no. No, it
argue
speeds up.
just the
Yeah.
opposite. I mean, we get into fall and it's on. So, and we're really, I'm excited to talk about a few things that are happening this weekend and then into next week. First of all, the Iowa Soul Festival, which is presented by Diversity Focus, part of Summer of the Arts. It's an amazing celebration that happens in downtown Iowa City, Friday and Saturday.
Begins tonight with
begins
Al Jarreau.
tonight. Exactly. They've got kind of a nice preview going on, and then national and local acts, which I think is really important to kind of unite those two perspectives. So not only do we have some amazing things locally and local artists and local musicians we're going to be featured, but the national performances as well. And it's not just about the performance itself. It's really about the atmosphere, and it's about the culture, and it's about learning about new cultures. You might not have a direct connection to the African and African American communities, but you go to this and you have a newfound appreciation for what we have to offer here when it comes to the African American communities. And I know I've attended a couple in the past. They've been amazing, and it's really been it's exciting to see this event take off and the way that it has. So.
Yeah, because you're right. It is, a music festival, but it's also food and really the idea craft booths, and the idea is it's
It
a
is.
celebration of African American culture.
It is. We do those really well in terms of learning about different cultures, different ethnicities, perspectives. It's not just about ordering some food off the menu, listening to some music and calling it good. It's actually providing a space that allows people to have conversation and really learn about culture, which is just as important when you're putting on a festival. So.
Well, and the music not only will be, American jazz,
Right.
with
Which you can't beat.
with Al Jarreau, and soul with Layla Hathaway, but Yobi Yoba Holiday, or they're
Yeah.
a group right from
Yes.
a multinational rhythmic group. So it's going to be the true African tradition, the jazz, soul, and funk as well. So
Right. And how their influence has progressed through various decades and into today. So a lot of history there too, which I think is important.
So that's this weekend, and it concludes with the gospel brunch.
Yes.
Another big part of African American culture
Yes.
that will be Sunday morning. So looking forward to the Iowa Soul Festival. That's just going to be a
Absolutely.
blast.
Absolutely. And then Saturday, we have our last downtown farmers market in downtown Cedar Rapids. It's been an amazing season. I am a little biased. I was with the organization that kickstarted this event several years back, but it has merged or progressed into one of the largest open air markets in the Midwest. The average attendance this season, I believe, is around 13,000 patrons per market, over 220 vendors, all from the state of Iowa. starting at 7:30 in the morning. There's literally 4 blocks of downtown Cedar Rapids that are closed off for vendors, patrons, live music, entertainment, and just a great experience in terms of celebrating local artisans, local vendors, local food that makes us Iowa. So that I can't believe it's already the last one of the season. It feels like it just started, but you still have a chance to go down and experience that.
So
And that's
one
from
more
7:30 to
chance
noon.
for that
Yes,
on
and then they
Saturday.
turn around and start planning for 2015. So that's really exciting. Yeah, and I've been really impressed with just the volunteers and the staff and how they've embraced and opened this experience up to the nonprofit community. So when you go to the downtown farmers market, of course you get to enjoy the vendors, you get to enjoy what the products and the goods that are being sold, experience the entertainment, but you also get to learn about the community, and that's part of my theme. We were talking about like picking maybe a couple of events to highlight, and I'm really a big advocate for events that go beyond just your present, taking it in, but really learning about the community. And I think that the Downtown Farmers Market is another good example of that. Nonprofits have the chance to sign up for 1 or 2 markets and get to interact with patrons and tell them about projects they're working on, volunteer opportunities, things that they're doing to enhance or shed positive light on the community. And I think that not only builds just awareness, but it builds a sense of pride in what we're doing. So I've been really excited to see that take off this year as well. And there will be a lot of nonprofits at this one.
And then next week is a big week for
Yes,
food in
yes.
Cedar Rapids,
Who
I
doesn't
believe.
like food? Come on. I mean, it's who we are. It's our staple.
I find that I have to eat nearly every day.
I do. I know. I don't know what that is. It's like you eat, and then like 24 hours later, you're
You
just
feel like you got to eat again.
Got to eat
Yeah.
again. Well, I came from a work conference yesterday, and that's all I feel like I've done is eat. So I could probably go a couple days without. But I'm not going to skip out on next week because next week is Cedar Rapids Restaurant Week, and this is hosted by the Cedar Rapids Convention and Visitors Bureau. And the program itself is a couple of years old, and they wanted to highlight those locally owned and operated restaurants that are in the area. Oftentimes, just Midwestern culture, we don't think about just what we have here that makes us unique, especially when it comes to dining and food. And we have these hardworking local owners that have put everything and more into their restaurants. And this is a way to really not only provide some specials so that the patron can get around and experience all of these different things, but really pay tribute and honor those locally owned and operated restaurants that have rolled the dice. And it's not easy. It's not easy being a local business owner in this day and age, let alone in the restaurant industry. I can't remember right now what the statistic is as far as like your likelihood of failure, but it's astounding. I mean, it's anybody with like the business plan would look at that and be like, nope. But they've surpassed it, and they're taking off. And so,
Well, and in the corridor, honestly, the rep is Iowa City is where the good restaurants are.
Yes.
And Iowa City has awesome restaurants.
yes. I mean, yes, I can't even go into all, and I'm in Iowa, I mean, I get it. I absolutely love the restaurants within Iowa City.
But particularly, I would say since the flood, we have had a real renaissance
It has. It's
in
been an
restaurants
awakening.
at the north end of the corridor, too. And I know more than a few people who live south who say, yeah, used to be I would never go north to go to a
absolutely.
restaurant. But now it's definitely part of the menu. The thing I especially like about this is, I go out to eat a lot, too much. But I go to the same places.
Yes. You
And
get
I was
familiar with the menu.
you get into a rut, and I was looking over the list of all the restaurants that are participating. Was like,
Huge.
okay, never been there. Why haven't I been to that one?
They have over 30 participants, and
Yeah.
they all have a unique cuisine, a unique story, and very reasonably priced. So, I mean, even if you try something and you're like, oh, that was great, it's not a huge financial investment. I mean, I love the fact that they're tying specials in. So an average price for lunch is around $10 to $15, and then for dinner it's about $25, and that gives you various courses, gives you the chance to really kind of experience different parts of the menu. So, and online there's a list of all the different restaurants on culturalcorridor.org. You can certainly go in and kind of look, but I love the fact that they also link back to the restaurant, so you can hear about the story. Oftentimes, the owners are profiled and just what inspired them to open up and start a restaurant in Cedar Rapids and what they're most looking forward to. So this is going on. Actually kicks off on September 18th today, and then goes through the 26th. So you've got lots of time, especially if you have out of town guests. I love taking my parents to different places that they can't find back in Illinois, and I think we've moved on from some of the chains that they go to, and those are comfortable and those are familiar. But especially when you're in a new place or you have people coming in that aren't familiar with our community, take them somewhere that they can only find here. That's really important.
Talking with Quinn Pettifer from the Iowa Cultural Corridor Alliance about, well, we've kind of focused on my two favorite subjects,
Food and music.
Music and food.
What more do you need?
That's right. So just a few of the things that are going on, and of course the place to go to find out about all the cool things that are happening in the community is
culturalcorridor.org. It's where to go. Best calendar around and tons to do.
Quinn, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you.